Activate.
It's the Pelon and Chubby Show with your hosts Rich Salas and Guy Murray, talking about comedy and everything that crosses their mind. It's the Pelon and Chubby Show.
Sir.
Welcome to the Pelon and Chubby Show. I'm Rick Salas.
And I'm Guy Murray.
And we're here for another episode number 4.
Yes!
Number 4.
Awesome.
You know, in Chinese, the number 4 is very unlucky. The number 4 means death. But that's a good thing neither one of us are Chinese.
I ain't Chinese here.
So we don't care.
I don't know Chinese.
Yeah, but number 4 is bad. They like round numbers, 3s, 8s, 0s. 8 is actually one of the never-ending numbers there, so brings a lot of good luck.
Oh, so sorry, it's the sign of infinity, Mr. Rick.
Yeah, it's a very racist accent there, being that my wife and kids are Chinese. Thanks, Guy.
Oh, sorry, man. Sorry.
No. If anybody's cool about that kind of stuff, it's me. I don't really care. I'm good with it. But welcome again. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. This is the weekly show every Wednesday. We come together and I'll go over a few things that happen, current events and stuff. The comedy scene in San Diego, our lives in comedy, and our show that we do here, the Comedy Gym open mic every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Gives you a little warm-up and, stuff to talk about. So, Guy's got some information here about how you can phone in, and we can now receive phone-in calls, which is kind of cool. He set that up. And then if you have any questions, obviously, on what is this, Facebook Live.
Facebook Live.
You can type in whatever it is. Rick Carson, what's up? Hey, Rick, we're watching the Dodger game and watching you on Facebook and doing our show at the same time. So
we're
multitasking to the maximum here. But Guy's going to go over, if you want to call in and ask a question live, you can call in. If you have anything you want to talk about, just type it in on Facebook and I'll do my bestest to read it. But please, by all means, join in.
The Pelon and Chubby Show is now on the air. We have a dial-in number at 760-565-3713. That's 760-565-3713 or 760-JOKES13. And you can have all that. Just direct text to us, call, or you can text us. 760-565-3713. Just want to call us again, 760-565-7313.
That's a Google voice message. Hey, Guy, it helps if you take the dick out of your mouth before you do that.
You know, that was a microphone, not a dick.
Yeah, and they look similar. Anyway, Jonathan Pyle, what's up, dog?
What's up, Jonathan?
We got a show tonight at the Comedy Gym open mic. Starting at 8 o'clock. It is early still, so you do have time to get on down. Get in your car, come on down, check out the show. You know, Guy, I was talking to my brother this week, Mike Salas. Rick went to school with Mike.
Uh-oh.
And so he listened to the podcast, and who but family can give you the bestest, most honest advice there is. So I told him, be honest with me, let me know. Be honest,
right. What's going on? What'd your brothers think?
And he liked it. The format he thought was all right. Maybe it needed to be a little more structured.
Okay.
Which, okay, fine. This is our 4th episode, so I can understand that. And he said, if I'm just tuning in and I don't know you, like all these people here online, they know us. They know me. They know you. Whatever, you know. Well, they know us, right?
That's a tough one, yeah.
Right. So if they didn't know us and they just happened to be stumbling on the podcast and they said the Pelon and Chubby Show, that sounds interesting. Maybe I'll tune into it. They won't have a clue who we are.
Hey.
So he says, why don't you have some build-up? He said, you guys work together, play off one another, fine. But he says, why don't you take some time to just tell the people who you are? They don't know your background. They don't know anything about you.
Huh.
You know, so I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? You might be right. So today I was thinking when we're getting this thing started right now, why don't we give a little background information on each one of us so that the people have an idea, like what we do for a living, where we're from, where we grew up, how these people online kind of know us. You know, like give them some insight on when we're talking comedy, why is it that they should even believe us,
right? That
we know shit about comedy.
Just some
why
guys.
I am as sour as I am about certain things.
Bitter, man. He's bitter.
Just bitter. Just, you know, but so I thought it'd be kind of cool. So, you know, since it was my idea, Guy, you get to go first.
I get to go first. Well,
so here's Guy Murray, super dude. I sent out a little, this is an intro for you, Guy. I sent out an inquiry there on Facebook. I said, anybody know anything about starting up a podcast and all that stuff? Guy answered. I said, hey, you know, let's do it. And my first thought was, all right, there's a black dude. We're kind of, I always tell him that we're polar opposites. He says that I'm bipolar and he's polar opposite. But I was thinking, I don't know if it's going to work, you know, this whole thing. But the more I thought about it, I was like, I was like, yeah, we need a different perspective than me. Maybe the complete opposite of me. And so I was like, yeah, Guy, let's do it. And he was cool enough to do it. He knew how to do everything. I'm like electronically retarded, and he knows how to do all this stuff, and is doing an excellent job getting the message out to the people. And so here he is, the one, the only, Guy Murray.
Hey, thanks for that lead up, man. That's awesome. Yeah, like you said, my name is Guy Murray. I have been around in the comedy scene since 1986. I'm just a hijacker of many things. But people that know who I really am, that they would see that, you know, I'm just a general normal guy. Comedy has been part of my thing, like I said, since 1986, and I have just jumped in and just hijack things. You know, I don't take no for an answer. And my first approach at comedy was when I jumped on stage during a mic check, or actually a sound break for this band that was performing at a resort that I was working at. And I noticed the mics were still hot, so I just jumped up there, grabbed the microphone, and did a little bit of improv, some sound effects, and I loved it. No one rushed me off the stage, and so I was up there acting like I should have been there, and no one rushed me off. So and ever since then, I've just been craving it. And then I moved out here to California and went to check out the comedy scene up in LA, and got to do some comedy at the Comedy Store, and was pulled aside by one of my mentor. I wouldn't call him a mentor, but definitely an idol. But this guy waved me down. He says, I need to talk to you for a second. And he pulled me aside and sit me down on the stage and sit me down at a table right across from Richard Pryor, because I was doing some Richard Pryor jokes. And back then, joke stealing wasn't a thing, but I wasn't necessarily stealing the joke. I was re-spinning the jokes. And Richard and they were saying, hey, you know, it was very funny. It was like, you know, it was interesting how you spun that. And I was like, yeah, you know, you influenced my comedy, and I did spin it, but he's like, yeah, let's don't do those jokes anymore. You
were showing your appreciation.
I was showing my appreciation. I was doing a montage of some Richard Pryor jokes, and just my appreciation, and from what I had learned, and just my boldness of being up there and not saying no, you know, not taking no as a question.
The one they always like to give you is, you have great stage presence.
You got great stage presence. Now move, get off stage. I had also been, you know, looking at different things and working on and developing my comedy, and so I finally started producing my own shows, and so getting in with a lot of national traveling headliners and some acts that have just been genuinely helping me out, getting my presence together, and so I've been around for a while. I do some things, and I, book my own shows, get out there, and I do some other promotions. I'm a marketing expert specialist, and I'm really good handy with computers, so I'm an all-around guy, internationally known, trained, well-rounded, and that's why whenever I got any same thing to say about comedy or whatever, I got to really take it to the heart, take the metal that I'm providing. So that's about me. That's what me and the raps.
There you go. There's Guy in a nutshell.
Oh, you called me a
Emphasis
nut?
on the nut.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
You got to get it in when you can. You know what I'm saying? Like you getting up on stage there. I always try and get it in whenever I can too. Look for that opportunity. Anyway, so most of you know me online that are tuning in. From the beginning of my family is from Costa Rica. Moved here legally, papers and everything. Most of our family is here. We still have some in Costa Rica. Grew up in Redondo Beach, California, and went to Redondo High School and played football there. Football, soccer, a little volleyball. Played at beach volleyball tournaments up and down the coast. And then I went to Chico State. Chico State was a lot of fun, too much fun. From there, I moved to the Bay Area and lived in San Francisco Bay Area for, almost 20 years. And then decided to move back down here to North County, San Diego, and hang out with my family before my dad dies, and hang out and, spend some time with the family. It's funny because I moved down here to spend more time with the family, and I see them less than when I lived in the San Francisco Bay Area. Go figure. All right, so been doing comedy now for, I want to say, close to 15 years. Had a chance to work with a lot of great people. Had a lot of good teachers, which I kind of touched on last show. And it's been a nice little ride, and it's starting to pick up with the help of Guy and these podcasts. We're getting the name out there, the Pelon and Chubby Show. Also, the open mic here, the Comedy Gym that we got going here every Wednesday at 8 o'clock has been building, and it's turned into a nice little show. We had our first review that I was going to talk about later on in the show. Not bad for our first review. I didn't even know the guy was doing the review when he was here. It's funny how it happened. I'll go over that story later. But so that's kind of cool. And then our monthly paid show with all professionals. We have Tommy Savitt, who goes by the Tommy Llama, is going to be at Rookies on the 28th. That's a monthly show the last Saturday of the month, and that thing's been cruising along. It's all paid professional comics, and it's a blast of a show. If you ever have a chance, come out. It's $10, less than the price of a movie, and you will not be disappointed. And so I just been doing the comedy thing, taking care of the kids, getting a chance to hang out with the kids a little bit more. So things have been good, and I'm having a blast doing these podcasts and kind of just getting the info and stuff off my chest, and hopefully making people think a little bit. And that's the whole idea, is to talk to America and make people say, huh.
Make them say,
uh-huh. So that's what's really going on. And anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
The Chubby, what is it? The Pelon and Chubby Show?
Pelon and
here
Chubby.
Every Wednesday
night.
At Tremont Street Bar and Grill. Great place to come down here, have lunch or dinner. You'll enjoy it. Never too crowded. Good food, good drink. And this show is brought to you by another great place, Rookies Sports Bar in Oceanside, California. If you have a chance to stop in there, also same thing, great little sports bar, tons of TVs, great drinking food, and that is the home of our comedy night, the last Saturday of every month. So this show is brought to you by Rookie Sports Bar. Guy, anything you want to talk about this week?
You know what's been on my mind and been on my heart? This week's been a wonderful week. It's amazing, and we're getting ready for the holidays. Whee! I know we can't blast past Halloween, but man, Christmas stuff is already in the stores.
Nothing like getting fatter.
And
Thanksgiving,
Christmas. So just getting ready to start planning for those family holidays, getting the family together and making those Make those things. Yeah, we got a couple saying that they can't hear us on the podcast. I mean, on the live.
It's sounding now. The problem is they got the game on in the back, and really, that it's not intended to be a Facebook broadcast. It's more of a podcast that you can get on Podbean, whatever.
For a Pelon and a chubby guy, you sure don't know how that pod is. The beans before the pod.
Twitter.
Yeah, we're on Twitter.
Also iTunes, and you can catch the previous episodes on there. But I brought it a little closer. Let me see. We got to get Guy in there.
No, I'm cool. It's all right there. There we go.
All right. So, can you hear better now, Gene?
So for all of the people that are still following this on the live and checking us out.
We're trying to get it better. Last week the sound wasn't bad on the Facebook Live, but hopefully you can hear it okay. So what the holidays?
Yeah, I mean, start make those plans. Who's hosting what, who's cooking what, and everything. It's the same run, but it's like, okay, well, on Thanksgiving Eve, we like to celebrate a full dinner spread with some family members and some friends and some of the kids that my daughter grew up with, my son grew up with, and everything. So we'll have a Thanksgiving Eve, a big spread the night before Thanksgiving. So that'll totally wipe us out the next day. But then we'll have some Marines and some local guys over, and then serve a Thanksgiving dinner for service members on Thanksgiving Day.
Wow,
and
that's cool.
Yeah, so we don't do two spreads. We'll go out and we'll go volunteer some time, and it's a blast just to see all kinds of family and all kinds of meet different gentlemen that are working, protecting the country, right, that are displaced from their families. So they got a nice place and got hot meal and talk some smack and beat each other up on video games and everything, and just have a nice, relaxing day.
See, now yours is, you have a reason for having multiple meals and the timing and all that stuff. Ours is because the two sides of the families can't get along. Not my family. It's all my brother's families, all the in-laws. Nobody gets along, so we can't have the meals together. And I don't know, I'm not going to point a finger and say it's my mom's fault. I'm just saying that we can't have all these meals together, so it's a problem.
Was there favoritism or what?
No. The problem is that my family, my immediate family, doesn't get along with all my brothers. I have 3 brothers.
Okay.
It doesn't get along with their in-laws. So we can't all have and then so what happens is they say, okay, we'll have it at 1 o'clock, and then somebody says have it at 3 o'clock, and then somebody says have it at 5 o'clock. So that's convenient because they got to go see their families first and all that. So I kind of was the first one to say, you know what? I really don't care what you have going on. It doesn't interest me. So here's what we're going to do. We'll have it at our house. The food will be ready by, say, 11 o'clock. And it's going to be ready until 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening. We're going to be there. The food's going to be out. Mm-hmm. And you can pop in anytime you want. And I'm fine with it. I don't really care. But I'm not going to schedule my day, my holiday, around your other family that has nothing to do with me and that I could give a shit about.
Oh, my gosh.
So, you're not going to dictate when I'm going to have my meal. So I'm going to eat whenever I want to eat, and then you're more than welcome to pop in throughout the day and say what's up. And if you don't show up, I can really give a shit either. I don't care.
More food for him, I guess.
Right. So, hey, it's my holiday. I'm going to enjoy it however I want. That's what's going on with my holiday. So, yeah, it's taking all the fizz out of it. I'm not a big fan of all the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, because they don't necessarily have the true meaning, as far as I'm concerned, is for what they are, And so I'm kind of contributing to a falsehood, something that isn't even real.
Wow.
And so I can give a shit about the holidays. All it is a bunch of kids running around complaining that they didn't get the present that they wanted, the gift they wanted, the toy that they... Oh, that's what you got me? That's really... I didn't even want that. That toy sucks. And you know what? I want to just kick you in the head is what I want to do when you tell me that. Right to the teeth.
Wow.
The foot to the teeth. That's what I'd like to do when all these whiny, ungrateful kids run around complaining about what they got for Christmas when they're starving kids in Africa that got no presents and no food for Christmas. How do you like those apples?
Well, let's go back and see where this came from. Like when you were coming up, how many brothers and sisters did you have?
Those 5 kids.
5.
And times were rough. And I don't make excuses like my brothers do about how their upbringing was and how shitty it was and all that. You know, I don't do that. I don't make excuses for it. It was what it was. But we didn't have presents, so we had to go to school and lie about whatever we didn't get.
Oh, wow.
You know, and because there was no fucking presents. There was government cheese and orange juice in your cereal because we ran out of fucking milk.
Ran out of milk.
So everything was watered down. And you know what? It made me a stronger person. I now appreciate when I open the fridge and there's shit in the fridge, you know? And hopefully I made a couple right decisions along the way. I know I made a lot of bad ones or else we'd be doing even better. But, yeah, when people complain that they don't have, well, sorry you fucked up and made some bad choices in your life, you know? But you can make it. Everybody has the opportunity. And guess what? In other countries, they don't give you any help. At least here, they give you a little help. So appreciate it a little bit.
Appreciate a lot. Appreciate what you don't have, but always appreciate what you do have. And if you can go out and help someone else, then that teaches you a whole lot more about your situation. And so that's what I usually focus on is other people and other times. So
and I try and give, you know, when I have the opportunity. But at the same time, don't tell me your sob story. And don't tell me why I should give to you. If I look at you and I feel, you know, like, hey, maybe I want to help you out, then I will. But don't fucking bother me.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't bother me. Don't come up and pull my, you know, talk. You know, shut the fuck up and just take the money, all right? That's all. And if you're going to go buy drugs or alcohol with it, then that's your business. It has nothing to do with me. I wish you wouldn't, but if you do, you do. Not a big deal.
I like the creativity though. If they've got a good story, a good little hustle. I like to hear that creativity, that hustle, to see what's really going down.
Don't blow smoke up my ass and tell me what a great person I am. You don't even know me.
They feel obligated that they have to.
You know what? They're sitting there. Oh, you're such a great person. You know what, fucker? I'm not. I'm really not. I'm a real shitty person, to tell you the truth, you know? And so you don't even know me. Don't blow smoke up my ass. I'm not a good person. In a moment of weakness, I want to hand you a couple bucks and help you out. Take it and get the fuck out of my face.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I practice on the flip side of that, the random acts of kindness. But now I have figured something else out. I'm just going to do kind acts of randomness. So I'm just... I'm going to put a flip on everything. That's what I always do. I don't ever do anything straightforward. I always flip things. So I'm going to do kind acts of randomness.
There you go. Hey, I saw a story in the news. In the news? You know, I love in the news. Okay, so I was talking about what happened with Eminem at the awards, or you filled me in on what happened.
Oh, yeah.
Because I wasn't sure what happened, and there's a lot of people that love that bashing of, okay, so this has nothing to do with the president, this has nothing, but Eminem happened to be driving through Escondido. For why, I don't know. and for those of you who don't know Escondido, California, and if you're listening online and you're in Escondido, don't get all butthurt. You already know what you signed up for when you moved to that awful city. Escondido is a toilet. It's a terrible city. It's horrible. There's nothing nice there. There might be a couple decent restaurants, but other than that, it is crap. Crap. So, with that being said, Eminem had to set it up for you guys. A lot of you don't know Escondido.
Right.
So, Eminem is driving through Escondido in a rental car. Where he's going, I have no idea. And his car breaks down. The rental car breaks down and overheats. So he pulls off the side of the road. Within a couple minutes, a couple cars pull over to help him out. And so there, one guy happens to have a brother or brother-in-law that has a tow truck. He tows the car to a shop nearby, and they begin to fix the car.
Okay.
which is kind of cool. He says within minutes, 2 cars pull up, and they weren't robbing him.
Hey, lucky him.
Which can happen in Escondido. They were helping him out. And so they take the car over there. And as a matter of fact, they're over there waiting for the car to be fixed. And one of the guys that gave him a ride to the shop said, while we're waiting for your car, why don't I take you and go get something to eat?
Wow.
So they go to this little place and they grab a burger. And he says it was very, very good burger. Very good restaurant that he took him to. And he said the best thing of all of this is that they never figured out who he was. Eminem.
Wow.
I don't know what rock they lived under, but they did not figure out that it was him. So he goes on to say that Escondido is an awesome place, that once he retires, maybe one day he'll move to Escondido. And I was like, I wanted to somehow text him or give him the information that, hey, buddy, that was like a once in a million chance. You might as well buy a lotto ticket, because what you just experienced over there never in a million years happens. You have a better chance of getting bitten by a shark or winning the lottery than getting treated like that in Escondido. You're lucky they didn't rob you.
Very lucky.
You know, so your experience, bud, Eminem in Escondido was a rarity, to say the least. So, like I said, if you're from Escondido and you're listening in, don't get all ass hurt and fucking complain. Move quickly. Yeah. You read the news, you see what's going on there. Move, get out. I thought it was an interesting story.
That's a very interesting story. When did this happen? When did this go down?
I just saw it in the news like a day or two ago.
Oh wow! Cool. Yeah. He enjoys some Escondido. I like the city names that they make fun of each city, like Escondildo, San Mucus, Ocean Slime,
San Mocos.
That is too funny, you know. Like,
what do they call Vista? I've never heard anything on Vista. It's probably in Spanish, so I never even figured it out.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think Vista per capita has the most Mexicans ever.
They do.
The only place that has more Mexicans than Vista is TJ.
Oh my. Or Chulawana. Chulawana is pretty high.
I think they try and get away from the border so they don't get caught.
They get as far as Vista, and that's where they're all at.
Yeah, they move up to Vista because Chula Vista, it's pretty close to the same shit.
Yep, pretty much.
So who's listening in there? Is it any better, Gene, or did you give up on the whole project?
Barton Ramsey.
Just, hey, if you can't hear it, then go to iTunes or Podbean.
Yeah,
and,
right now, if you Google Pelon and Chubby, you will hear and see all that. You just Google it,
really?
Dude. Pelon and Chubby.
Oh my God!
I've been working on my indexing, so we're coming up.
Has nobody in the world done anything relevant other than us? That you plug our name in?
Well, yeah, I don't think there's too many pairings of Pelon and Chubby out there.
You have to ruin my.
I'm sorry. I had to bring you down just a little bit.
We are strong, and then
take that.
Guy, like.
It's all good. Nobody's piped in on that phone number once again.
What is the phone number?
It is 760-JOKES-13.
760-JOKES-13. That is the number you can call in and be on the show live, like a real radio show. Oh my God! You can call in, it's gonna be big. Ask your questions. We can answer them live, and you be a part of the spectacle. That is the Pelon and Chubby Show. Welcome if you're just dialing in, calling in. Tuning in, listening in. This is the Pelon and Chubby Show here every Wednesday, 6:30 to 7:30. Tune in, call in, be a part of the show. Anything else you want to talk about there, Guy?
We have... I told you about the cross-country tour or the East Coast tour. Okay, well, now it's changing. It's changing. It's been molding. I had some people drop off of it and everything like that. We've solidified a couple of headliners, and we're still working on the sponsors and the promoters, but it's getting a little bit more solid. Now the name of it is going to be Use Your Words Tour, and it's going to give everybody that from the different walks of life, the range of the comedians is amazing. You know, I've got Tarek Higgins from out of Dallas, Texas, and I've got Tyrone Thomas up in up in San Rafael. He's in the Sacramento area, and then a couple female comedians that will be dropping in, even a headliner. She's rock solid. She's been on BET and she's making a name for herself. So we're a lot of amateur.
Is this one of those racist shows? It's not going to be.
It's not going to be all black people. I got Ron Ripley out of San Diego.
I like to do all white shows.
You know what? Because I'm Mr. International, and
right.
I'll get down on any platform. Like I said,
but don't you prefer to be with like nothing but black people?
You know what? Actually, I don't care. So, Mr. International, right. I'm trying to get on a couple Spanish shows to flex my...
The only reason you want to get on Spanish shows is because of the chicks.
Yeah,
Come on now. I watch Telemundo and Univision.
Yes, well, I didn't want to totally give away why I wanted to be on the show and everything, but if I could go on stage...
What's up, Reggie? Burton Ramsey? Ashley Medina?
Ashley.
What's up? Can you hear? Can you guys hear? Okay, people were saying earlier that they couldn't hear. That's pretty cool. You want to get on some Spanish shows?
I want to get on some Spanish shows.
I'd like to get on a couple Spanish shows too. I'd like to be the carpet on a couple Spanish shows.
You can definitely. Hey, speaking of carpets, man, I'm looking across here and he's got this little fuzz growing on your upper lip. What's going on, buddy?
Well, it's November, right?
It's November.
Well, in my book, it is.
Well,
almost.
Okay, so October.
So I'm preparing for it. And
Beard
November is supposed
or whatever.
to be the mustache and all those. What do they call those hipsters? And
the hipsters.
They're all doing that mustache Movember thing.
Movember,
and so
I get it.
I don't like to be associated with those donkeys. So, and if you're a hipster out there and you're getting butthurt because I called you a donkey, well, dress different. So
it's not the dress, man. It's an attitude that goes with it too.
So I'm growing my mustache out early. I'm doing it in protest of all the people taking a knee on the national anthem. So I'm growing out this mustache. If I have to watch you take a knee, then you have to look at this shitty mustache on my face.
Wow.
So that's the way it goes. You know?
I can see that. This is my protest.
This is my silent protest.
Yes.
Yeah, you get to look at this turd under my nose.
Nice. Looks good. It's filling in pretty good, nice and evenly and everything. I thought you still had something like on your... But it looks good. It's coming in pretty nicely.
Hey, Taylor J. Got a little work.
Got in some work a couple weeks ago.
That we did at there. Then Patrick DeGear called me up and said, hey, I like that kid.
Right.
And we exchanged numbers and stuff. And Taylor J. was down working at the Comedy Palace on Patrick DeGear's show. So
wow.
I love when that happens.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we can pass on a little work, you know.
That's
now
awesome.
You
owe
us. Send me my 10%, motherfucker.
Oh my goodness!
Just kidding.
Of course.
Hey, so I was writing a couple new jokes, and I'm going to do a couple. That's going to be the list for later on. The list. Some of you guys are going to be on that list one day. The shit list. No, that's a list of the comics that are going to perform tonight. And so I was writing a couple of jokes, and I wanted to run this one by you. And see what you think of it. All right, so this joke kind of is it's about getting a divorce. So they say whenever you're getting a divorce, if the divorce involves children, it's especially important to let the children know that the divorce has nothing to do with them.
Okay.
That it's not because of them.
Okay.
You know, that mommy and daddy just need to be apart in order to be happy. But reassure them that it doesn't have anything to do with them. So the day came when it was time to have the conversation with the kids. And I believe in honesty. So I told them. I said, your mother and I separating really doesn't have anything to do with her. I'm actually pretty happy with her. It's you two little motherfuckers that I can't stand. And that you're actually the reason why I have to leave. And I got to get as far away from you as possible in order to be happy. But I really didn't say motherfuckers.
No.
Because I thought it might hurt their feelings, you know. And I don't want to do that, of course. So I wanted to keep it real with them. And I think by keeping it real, they're going to be stronger people in life later on.
Of course.
By letting them know that they are the reason for our divorce. And I think they took it well.
That's.
I think they took it real well. I wasn't there to find.
I didn't see the expression on their face.
As far as I know, they took it.
They took
well.
it very well.
Yeah,
took it like champs.
Yeah.
That's a good premise. Good.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So that's the new one there, and really no, those two is who I really care about. The mom can go anytime. Those two are anyway, so that's one.
I like that.
And then the other one was my name is Richard, and there's a couple of, I guess, short names for Richard.
Yeah.
Dick.
Okay.
Rich.
Right.
Rick.
Right.
Ricky is what I went by when I was young.
When you was crushing football, right?
And so I made, some people call it the mistake of naming my son Richard Jr.
Okay.
And so we're getting ready to participate in our first father-son tournament, which is kind of cool. And we got some jerseys made, custom jerseys.
Custom jerseys, okay.
Right. And he's only 3 going on 4. So participating in our first tournament's kind of cool, you know?
Matching shirts.
Yeah, so we got these custom shirts. And so on the back of his shirt, it says Little Dick. Right? And on my shirt, it says Big Dick.
Oh, my goodness.
Right? Well, you know.
Oh, my goodness.
For Rich.
Little
Dick.
Little, right.
I'm Big Dick, he's Little Dick.
Oh, my gosh.
And the parents are giving me a little grief.
Oh, wow.
Can you believe it?
That's crazy.
I don't understand why. Yeah. So anyway, that's
wow. That's crazy premise right there, man.
A little family jokey jokes.
I like those.
Yeah.
In developing my comedy, I never really write my jokes.
Yeah, and I never used to either. And I have just now started writing my jokes down and typing them out. And I'll do it one time. And I don't go verbatim.
Okay.
I just go whatever feels natural.
Right.
But honestly, like, I write when I drive or I'm in the shower.
Okay.
Those are the 2 places I write. And I have probably forgotten more jokes than I've remembered.
I remember, let's see, probably my best show was 2012. It was a big Mike Mitchell show.
Mike Mitchell.
And it was at your favorite club. It was at your favorite club at the Madhouse.
Madhouse sucks ass.
Stop it. And I forgot how he got me on the show because it's usually that last minute, man. You think you can pull some in there, boss? Can you get some people in there? You know, I need to pack this thing out. I got such great lineup and everything.
You're the promoter.
I'm promoting.
No,
he's the promoter.
Mike Mitchell's a promoter, but he wants everybody else to do all the work for him. You know, and then pay you nothing. And then he gets paid. I think it's bullshit, those fucking bringer shows. I hate it.
And so my best show ever was on a Mike Mitchell. It was the day before my birthday. I had already committed to a birthday show for myself at Rookies. I called it a comedy dance party. I had a nice lineup together. I had Rich Flores there. I had Duke Michaels, Acacia Rivas, and Rev Acacia. She was there. And
at Rookies.
At Rookies. I had my party on the 22nd on my birthday.
Nice.
But on the 21st, I just jumped on his show. Like, he called me like on a Tuesday or something like that.
Right.
Hey, man, can you come down on Friday night, be down there? I'll hook you up. You know, if you can get some people, that'd be great. And so I had a set that I was trying to Uh-oh.
Somebody calling him?
No.
Music interlude?
Music interlude.
Nice.
And so, I don't know what happened
by the way, Rich called and said he has to pull out of the show on the 28th.
Oh.
Little did he know he wasn't on the show anymore.
Well, that sounds like one of those sexual jokes. He wants to pull out. She goes, you weren't even in.
Yeah, you weren't even in. Yeah, you were.
So my best show was, I came up with a small premise for what now is like, I'm like going to make that a hallmark for one of my for like my intros to my set. So I've now got my opener from that particular show because I really was just winging it. I knew I wasn't going to have a crowd because it was such a short turn to draw.
Right.
And I had people already lined up and I paid for tickets for the next night. So I was like, oh, I'm going to just do it this way. And it was an amazing show because I didn't have to worry about the crowd. So I walked in there, got up there, and I just laid it out so thick, so perfect, and then just rolled in a whole lot of different material. So to me, it was like an open mic because it was just open mic, and I didn't care. I know I wasn't going to get paid nothing, so I just went out there and just laid it out there. So now I got the most solid. Solid 5 out of that 10-minute set that I did. I got the most solid 5 out of that. So now if they say you have a tight 10 or a tight 15, I got a solid 5 out of that I can use that in my back pocket and always go back to that. But that was prepared by mostly because I don't write, and mostly because I just didn't give a shit. So I just did it, but it's now stuck with me. So that's in my back pocket for if I need another tight 5, I can stretch it out for 7 because I mess with the crowd.
Well, I write everything. I may not write out everything, but I write everything.
I have bullet points on my website, and kind of those just like those hit markers that I use, and that's my approach when I'm doing it. So it's a little bit different, so I don't fall off, and I don't keep those bullet points. I remember an open mic I did down at the Sky Show, the Skybox, down in Claremont Mesa, and I love that place because it was a mixed mic and they had some really awesome music. But you're sitting there waiting after each band is doing 3 songs, and you're like, "Fuck, man, when are the comics coming up?" And then one comic might jump in there, and then everybody takes off while the bands are changing. And so a couple comics get there and just boo up the stage. But so I used to just do bullet points. And that's when I learned that works best for me. Using the bullet points
works for you.
Yeah.
I just, as I'm getting older, man, I forget stuff.
That's where those bullet points come in.
So, I put the note. Like if you look at my set list, like here's my set list, right? And I used to write it out, but then I couldn't read my writing.
Oh my gosh!
So I would type it now. Everyone's like, "Oh, you type it?" Yeah. Well, and then I make it big and I do color coordinated. I don't know if you guys can see there.
Oh yeah, color. I see that.
So see, those are my. That was my set list for 9:30, and so it kind of. I just put that down, and that helps me remember my jokes. But then somewhere in a book, I have them written down. That
all the jokes, the meat and potatoes.
So my wife's on there.
Hey, wifey poo,
checking it out, and then my son will listen in. And daughter will listen in. He just turned 4 on Sunday.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. He's got his own Facebook account.
Yeah. So it's funny. He did his. I posted something on there. I don't know if you saw it on my page, but I posted a thing about him doing his first joke.
Oh, okay.
And he did his knock joke.
Knock joke. Yeah. Yes.
And he did knock. And then you want to.
Who's there?
You want to be me? So, knock.
Who's there?
Charlie.
Charlie who?
Charlie horse, and then he hits you, Right. So I was like, but I'm like, for 4 years old, man, that's
pretty solid.
Right? That is pretty. And so I brought a tear to my eye. Yeah, I brought a tear to my eye, and I'm thinking, only 4 years old. I'm like, watch
you gotta
out,
be there,
man. This guy,
he's gonna hit you.
And then you know what he tells me?
What's that?
Dad, I'm funny.
With a self-realization and seriously, looked right at you.
Just enough cockiness to definitely be my son. Like if there was any doubt if the milkman or the FedEx guy, made a house call, or even Sancho made a house call, there's no doubt anymore. He is definitely my son.
Funny kid. That's
and
a boy.
Then he says, I just go around, Dad, and crack jokes all day long.
Oh my goodness!
Can you believe this? 4
That
years
is 4.
old?
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm gonna work with him on holding the microphone.
Okay.
And then on a Wednesday, I'm gonna bring him in here.
Okay.
Hopefully while he's 4 still.
If that's okay with Mama.
Yeah, and we'll tape it, and I'm gonna put him up there and have him do a couple minutes, 3 minutes, whatever.
That would be nice.
A couple stories, or whatever. But super hilarious. Hopefully he's comfortable enough to do it. But I think that would be pretty awesome, man. Rob Enriquez, what's up? Thanks for joining.
What's up, Rob?
So that's kind of cool. But so the set list, just little stuff that helps you remember. But I think some of your best jokes are written on stage.
Yeah.
At least some of my best, like I'll take a joke and it's really not hitting, and I'll kind of go a different direction with it. And next thing you know, it actually turns into a pretty funny joke.
Yeah, that's a good thing there.
I'd love to have another 805. 805, my new favorite beer from Firestone. Firestone Beers, 805. Refreshing, delicious, and most of all, if you have enough of them, it'll get you pretty fucked up.
Nice. How many does it take to get you fucked up?
And I don't know. It's not a proud thing or anything. But honestly, I think I got to almost go double digits now.
Oh, man.
In order to be lit. So I'm almost better just quitting. Like I told you, I started drinking vodka to kind of keep the calories down.
Calories?
And, yeah, well, because I've been losing weight.
Okay.
And I want to keep losing. So I stopped drinking the beer and went to the hard alcohol vodka, the no calorie, zero carbs drinks. And it was working pretty good. The only problem is I was drinking those drinks just like you would drink a beer.
Glug, 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 glug.
That's a bad recipe for disaster.
Okay.
Because 10 beers is one thing. 10 tall, double shot vodka drinks is laying in the curb, getting scooped up by a spatula. Not good.
What do you think about, or how do you feel about performing while under the influence?
I think you should always perform under the influence if it makes you looser or funnier.
Okay.
The old lady seems to think that I get a little sloppy sometimes.
Okay.
Which I don't doubt. I mean, that's believable. I could see that happening. But I don't know. I don't think it ruins the show. I like the fact that I can go to work and drink on the job. I think that's kind of nice.
Yeah, and if I'm still standing after 10, 15 minutes and a couple of drinks and some joke delivery.
Yeah, I mean, as long as everybody can understand it, gets the joke, it doesn't take away from the show, I don't see a problem with it. Does anybody online see a problem with it?
Do you see a problem with that?
Chime in.
We'll track you down.
760, what's the number? 760?
565-7513.
One more time.
760-565-7513.
That's the number if you want to call in and ask any questions live on the Pelon and Chubby Show. We're the Pelon and Chubby Show here on Wednesday at Tremont Street Bar and Grill every Wednesday from 6:30 to 7:30-ish. Sometimes we run long. I'm a little long-winded.
And it's all good, though.
I try and be consistent.
Consistency is good, too. The people will appreciate it. But when we're giving them great content and valuable content.
I want everything to be long when you think of me.
Yes, sir. So you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, some of you missed out on life. Different path, different ending. Hello.
Hey.
So the Dodgers are playing right now, down by 1.
He's going back and forth, but Chicago's hitting some spots. And
you know what? They've been holding on in all these games, and then the Dodgers just seem to open it up. And same with the Yankees. The first 2 games were a little rough, but I think we're going to have the classic.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be
Yankees-Dodgers showdown.
The battle of the pinstripes.
Yeah, battle of the coasts.
Yeah.
And we'll see who the real coast is. You know what I believe, what I feel. I'm all West Coast. I bleed West Coast. I can't stand the East Coast. I hate New York. I hate everything about New York. I hate the New York roaches. Oh, my. What happened?
So Chicago, just a little dinger. Was that Baez again?
That was the other one. Huh?
No, that was another one. That's a dinger.
Second home run of the night. 3-1 Chicago.
Wow, that's
2 solo shots from Baez. Oh, whatever. Who cares? The Dodgers are going to come back and win. Not a worry.
Oh, no worries there.
So what was the other thing I was talking about? Every week I give a little take on Kaepernick, Colin Kaepernick.
This new thing he did.
More now.
The new thing. That's so funny.
He has now filed a grievance against the NFL.
How do you do that?
What is that?
Collusion.
For the
he had a colonic?
Getting together and basically banning him, and everybody agreeing, all the owners agreeing to not hire him.
I think that is kind of messed up and everything.
Let me preface my statements.
Okay.
With this, I liked Colin Kaepernick coming out of Nevada. I used to watch him play for the Niners when he first came into the league, and hoped that he did great things in the NFL. You know, I really enjoyed watching him play. With that being said,
here we go.
All these antics that he claims are in the best interest of his people.
My peoples.
That line up with his wife's girlfriend's motives, being a member of the Black Lives Matter. The timing. So anyway, I talked about that in length before. Tune into one of the other episodes and you can kind of hear my stance on that. But
this collusion thing is...
To now make this claim of collusion, you know, I think it's sad. I think it makes him another statistic. I think that all things have the proper ending. And what I mean by proper ending is he's sitting at home with no job, all because he wanted to take a knee while he was at work. So think about what you do, what choices you make, if they line up with your boss's ideals.
Right.
If the country as a whole, and not just the way you see it or the way you think everybody sees it, this country as a whole is aligned with what you believe, and see if it's not going to backfire on you, and then you're going to be unemployed, and you're like, well, at least I stood up for what I believe. Bullshit. Bullshit. You came from a decent upbringing. You didn't come from the hood, the ghetto. You know, you had a decent life, and now you threw it away. All because you wanted to take some stance and think that you're going to do something good. Come on, man. You screwed up. You threw away your career. Now you want to blame somebody else? It's perfect. It's perfect.
It's perfect.
You're keeping the stereotypes alive. Blame everybody else for all your shortcomings, decisions that you made in life. You know, blame the world. But good thing is, hey, the other stereotype, I got me a settlement check coming. You know? Yeah, there you go, dog. You did it. You're full circle now. Everything that you wanted to do, you've done.
I think he will get a settlement. They're not going to just agree. They're going to keep barring him. And so, yeah.
So now they're talking about, now he's shamed people into hiring him. I don't know if you watched the last part of his career. Not when all this stuff was going on, they were trying to get him out or whatever. I'm talking about when he was actually on the field playing. And I don't know if you watched, but he was lousy. He was terrible.
Well,
he was getting ready to lose his starting job.
The whole options package that they had put in there for him, all the other defenses finally figured that stuff out, caught up with that.
He was making bad decisions.
He was making bad decisions.
He wasn't accurate with
He was never that good. Yeah, NFL level definitely changed his play.
But he was playing good at one time. Then he started playing terrible.
Yeah.
So he was good. He was losing his starting job. He was actually going to get cut by the Niners. They were not interested anymore. So I guess the natural thing is to blame everybody else. You know, that they caused you to lose your career.
I saw a quote, though. It says that Colin Kaepernick is more powerful out of the NFL than when he was in it.
Yeah, because he was shitty in the NFL. What is that saying?
You're not present now that people remember what you did.
Right, what is that saying? Yeah,
they're talking about you more.
That's like artists when they're alive.
Yeah.
Nobody wants their paintings. They're shitty.
Hey.
As soon as they die,
send me that album.
Millions.
Some T-shirts.
There's a lot of actors out there.
Yeah.
In Hollywood, you're a better activist. You know, that's why I put on my post, I don't know if you saw it online, but I was like, the 49ers should file a grievance against Colin Kaepernick and get all their money back for moonlighting as an activist while he was on the Niners. That's what should happen.
That's a good spin right there. That's an awesome spin.
If I was a jerk off that owns the Niners, I'd be like, I want all my money back. Instead of playing football like you were paid to do, you were taking a knee, you know. He probably would have rather had him blowing him than playing football at the time.
It's amazing. Whatever.
Oh, my other buddy, I was reading a post that he put on there. One of my favorite comics of all time, man. And I think I'm going to have him come down and do this place, do my other show one week, and do a couple of shows around town, go around. But he put a post, and I'm not even going to say his name. Everybody knows who he is. But he put a post up. His wife died suddenly, unexpectedly.
Okay.
I believe he said it was after 6 years. They had a couple kids, and she died. Well, it just completely destroyed his life and the kid's life. It was hard. He took it hard. And so everybody was like tiptoeing around him and making sure they didn't say anything to upset him or offend him. You know, the kids, him, which actually he says in his post that it was actually part of the grieving and everything, and the people walking on eggshells around him that bothered him more than anything. You know, that was hard to take.
I could see that though. Yeah.
So he says one of our friends, I can say his name, I guess Jacob, a comic that we worked with, called him up and said, hey, you know, sorry about your loss and everything, give, you know, condolences and all that. But then he did something like comics, and the whole point of his post was that we've lost humor in tragedy.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So he said, Jacob says, I know you're going to use this whole widower thing to get laid.
Oh my gosh.
Which then he laughed, and he's like, he said he laughed so hard. And that was exactly 8 days after, I think he said, after the wife died, exactly what he needed.
Exactly what he needed.
To laugh, you know. And who's this calling? So he needed to laugh, and it was the best thing that could have happened. Hang on 2 seconds. So it was the best thing that happened to him, for him. And that comedy in these situations is absolutely necessary, and that it's vital, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And that everything is so, like, politically incorrect, or nobody wants to joke about anything right now. Everything's off limits. He's like, everybody needs to loosen the fuck up and laugh again. You know, that's what
I truly believe that.
Anyway.
And so that's one of the things that we're going to do with the Use Your Words tour is touch on subjects that are a little bit too touchy for people, a little bit too sensitive for people. I'm writing some whole new stuff. Actually, I'm preparing for the San Diego Comedy Festival. But
I hate that anything's off limits.
Yeah, you know, and it depends on the delivery or the content. Anyway, it's like you have to be true to what you're saying. It don't have to be total hilarity, but if there's humor, you definitely can be something that will be well received, because if it is actually developed and complex and there is a setup and there is humor in the situation, if you can spin that, it is always going to be received. Like I said, I don't like doing things on the crisis, or I don't like to take advantage of a situation like the Me Too thing. People are taking that a little bit to the extreme by not feeling the sensitivity of the matter or the actual the severity of the claims. But the fact that we're actually talking, that's the best part, you know.
Sorry about the phone call. We had a comic calling in from Escondido.
It's great.
So he's coming down for the comedy gym right now.
Tell him he can text next time.
Hopefully he didn't hear what I said about Escondido.
Right. He'll probably give him some material once he does get here.
You know what's funny is I put on everything text.
Yeah.
Don't call. Inevitably, everybody calls.
They call. Yeah.
Nobody texts. But it's all good. It's fine.
People with their little fingers. Hey, it's our favorite one.
Either one. And water, please, and a Coke.
Cherry Coke. Yeah.
Hey, so look
Most
at
people don't do the cherry.
Elaine Reed joining in there. Yvonne, Yvette, Gomez,
Yvette.
San Miguel. Well, that's a mouthful.
I bet.
Thanks for joining in. Where are you tuning in from on Facebook Live? We're doing our recording here of episode 4.
Pelon and Chubby Podcast.
Pelon and Chubby Podcast.
On Podbean.
With Rick Salas.
And Guy Murray.
Yeah, so we're on iTunes.
And on iTunes, on Twitter, on Podbean. I swear, you can find us in a lot more places. And soon we'll have our own website.
Yeah, we're going. Be in a studio maybe, nice and quiet.
Yeah, nice and quiet.
But you can, a guy is saying that you can put in your browser.
Just Pelon.
Pelon.
And Chubby.
Not the.
Just Pelon and Chubby.
Pelon and Chubby show.
We're the top 10 hits already.
What?
Yeah.
No, stop.
Dude.
Don't tell me that.
Okay, but I'll tell you how that indexing works. And each episode gets its own keyword and its own hit.
I was wondering about it. I don't have a way to go in and look at it. So that's good. I want after the show done.
You need to get a podcast app on your phone or just say follow this podcast. And so now I get new notices when I post them.
Right.
And then when I get listens, and I love when I get the international listens because that's you know what I'm saying? Yes. I got followers. We have followers.
How great is that though? They're never ever going to be able to see us.
They won't be able to see us, but they can definitely hear us. And
all you guys in America have no excuse.
No excuse.
Come down here to Tremont Street Bar and Grill, watch the open mic, and listen to the Pelon and Chubby show.
Yep.
Live, in person.
On the set.
There you go. Oh, Dennis Gaxiola, what's up, man? Hey, are you, Dennis, you on tour with Paul Rodriguez still? And I believe Patrick DeGear was on that show. I know he didn't see you, but he heard you. Sorry. I don't care. I'll make fun of blind people. I don't have a problem with it. But we're reloading, folks, on our drinks here with our wonderful waitress.
Kristen.
Bartender. They're all bartenders here. So what's up, Dennis? Type something, knucklehead. If you can get those fat fingers to type. Dennis is a great comic. We're going to do some shows out this way. I need to get the list going for all the comics. I got that here somewhere. Here it is right here.
Sorry to interrupt you.
What's up, man?
I'm just looking for Rick.
That's me.
Nice to meet you. Mac, I called you earlier today.
Yeah.
Mac is calling in.
So we're
He's gonna do
on the
4
Pelon and
minutes
Chubby
on.
show right now. We're going to get the list signed up, sign-up sheet for all the comics.
The dude freaking bounced. He's like, oh, wait, you're on the air? You can sign up here at the Tremont Bar and Grill.
Reaching that. Oh, you got one there? Perfect.
He came ready to get
There's a
down.
couple guys back here that want to sign up.
He came ready to get down.
You still have time as long as you get here before 9:30.
Before 9:30.
You can sign up to get on the show. It's always a great show. The comics are very, very good, working hard at their craft.
Getting butter and butter.
Oh, I put on the online to come down to see the show.
Yeah.
And I say you are all friends of the Comedy Gym open mic.
Right.
Dilly Dilly. Dilly Dilly, all friends. If you've seen the Bud Light commercial, you'll understand. But you're all friends of the open mic. And come one, come all. Master your craft and speak from your heart. Dilly Dilly.
Oh my goodness. So I started sending out some late flyers and invites and everything, and I said that we are doing the Comedy Gym. So come out, because this week we're going to be focusing on abs and glutes.
There it is.
So as you're doubled over with laughter, getting that belly laugh, you're working your abdomens, and you'll be chuckling so hard you try to stay in your seat. You'll be working your glutes to try to stay glued to your seat.
I'd like to let all the females know you work on your abs, laughing at the jokes, and I'll work on your glutes.
You're a glute man. You're gluty to the maximus. I'm a married man. Okay. So you're gluty to the maximum. Okay.
And of course, they're speaking past tense.
Yeah. Used to be.
Right. But I love me some titties. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm kind of keeping one eye on the Dodger game. 3-1. What else? Hey, Dennis, what's going on, man? Shoot. Type in something. What do you want to talk about?
What's going on, Dennis?
We have material, but it's not often that we get a
world
comedy god to tune into our show. So throw a topic out there, and we're gonna do a little riffing. Speaking of riffing, Riff City, is it called?
Riff City Comedy open mic
is posted as an open mic. However,
they do a showcase before the mic.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so a gentleman by the name of Brent Weinbach, who I've worked with a bunch, and if you've never seen Brent, he is a must-see, because he has got to be one of the oddest people I've ever met in my life. On stage. Off stage, he seems pretty normal. But on stage, he is one odd, dark, not all dark, and very headsy comedy. But he is with, I believe he was with, or may still be, with the Gersh agency out of LA. And the kid's doing pretty good. But he is going to be on that show, which happens to be the same day as my show at Rookies Comedy Night with Tommy Savitt. But I wish I could go and see Brent Weinbach down there. That's going to be a pretty cool little show. But that was interesting to see, I got to give him a call. It reminds me now to give him a call. And I want to have Dennis come down.
Dennis, you're welcome to come on down.
Does from church shows to just, everyday comedy shows. So I have a couple shows I kind of would like him to do that are clean shows. And then maybe he can come down. I want to have Connor Kellycutt come down and do some shows. Maybe even Larry Bubbles Brown. Have him, Mr. Optimist, come down. Been on the Letterman show multiple times. So I think I'm itching to have a bunch of these San Francisco Bay Area comics come down and do some shows. It's not that I'm tired of seeing the San Diego comics. I just want to bring down some of my homeboys to put on a little spectacle here down in San Diego. I think that'd be fun.
That would be great, actually.
Yeah. So type something, Dennis. Come on. Anyway.
You've been listening to the Pelon and Chubby Show right here on Podbean. Catch us live each week. It's 7:45. Keeping it alive.
Yeah, so if nobody has anything else, Guy, I don't know if you want to add anything more to the show. I might just go through our normal... what do you call credits? And
we'll do our credits and we'll do our out. What'd you forget, Rick?
The explicit warning.
Oh.
At the beginning. Well, it wasn't that bad. A couple of swear words.
The disclaimer. Yeah, you were good.
This is not a show for kids. Put the disclaimer out there that there is some explicit language and material. So if you're sitting there at home watching the show, it's not intended to be a Facebook Live show, but we do it just so some people can see it. Go online, download our podcast. It's much clearer, sounds great. Guy does a great job. There's actually an intro. It sounds like for real, like nice.
We're legit.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if you're watching it live, there's no delay or anything, so it can get a little seedy, sort of. So we need the kids' explicit warning. This show is brought to you by one of our sponsors, Rookies Sports Bar in Oceanside, California. Check out their website, iloverookies.com. Check that out. Tremont Street Bar and Grill is our host for this show every Wednesday here in Oceanside, down by the pier on Tremont Street. Come and check it out every Wednesday. They do put a special up, 75-cent wings, $5 sculpins. So you get good drink, good eats, and you get a little bevy of comedy from open micers that have...
these guys are taking it serious. I mean, seriously.
They come prepared. They come to work. They come to work it out. That's what we call it, the comedy gym.
Yeah, it is
they
the gym.
have, like, some of them 3-4 months in the business, just getting their start. Some people actually from the crowd get up, stand up for the first time ever. And then sometimes we got people that roll in here that are professionals, that this is their life, this is their livelihood, this is their job. And they've been in the business 10, 15, 20 years, and they come up to work on new material. So it's kind of cool. We got a wide range of people that come through here. So if you're ever in the neighborhood, every Wednesday night, Tremont Street Bar and Grill, look it up, Google it, whatever you got to do. And then if you want, you can come a little early and watch the Pelon and Chubby Show taping live at Tremont Street with Rick Salas.
And Guy Murray.
And we've been real, and we've had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys for the night. And I appreciate you guys clicking in. But most of all, can you please tell your friends about the show? The biggest help you can do to us, if you want to help us out other than money, then you can post money on our on the website. I guess
on our podcast, you can sponsor with a certain contribution level. We got it real cheap and real easy. A monthly contribution as little as $1. Just your $1 goes into a bigger pot in a pool, and we'll get you an electric edition welcome thank you letter, and Rick will actually do a shot. And if
the biggest thing is
reposting and sharing the thing, because that's what I like to see, the listen numbers going up. I like to see the different devices that are accessing it, but to see the shares, how many hits and how many unique hits we're getting. And so that's what we're trying to do. So yeah, we're definitely trying to bring value and offer more content, not just two guys scratching their heads and trying to figure out how this works. We're here to share your views, share our thoughts on current events, and talk about comedy.
A guy, like I said, I don't know if I mentioned it out there and told people what my goal is, what my vision is. I want to be heard by millions across the country. I want people to listen in and say, What did he say?
What did he just say?
I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he said that. What an asshole or jerk. But I want people to I want them to think about it.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, and I want people to really think about what it is that's going on in this world, and talk about things and say things that I want to say, the things for them that they're not able to say or are afraid to say. So here we are again at the end of another show. Great job, Guy.
Hey,
it's been a pleasure hanging out with you.
Oh, man, always a pleasure with you,
And look forward to seeing you next week, and look forward to seeing everybody on Facebook Live, and look forward to seeing all those downloads.
And shares.
So come on out. I'm Rick Salas.
I'm Guy Murray.
And we are the Pelon and Chubby Show.
Good night, everybody.